Good afternoon. Are you so unhappy? You can't hear me? Okay, now is it okay? Okay, I can't raise my voice. You have to raise the volume. Am I audible now? Okay. Because it's a very wrong question to ask college students. Roughly about 7 months back, I was in a college in Namakkal. And I asked, and it was a narrow hall. This hall is little width, right? So the hall was a little narrow, so I couldn't see the students in the last row. So I asked them in Tamil, "Naan pesradhu kekkuda?" Last row. So one boy stood up and he said, "Kekla, but parole nee pesu, it's okay." Okay. So for my friends from Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, you're all giving me a stare. So I asked this question, am I audible at the back? The guy responded quite honestly. He said, you're not, but it's okay, you can continue. We are anyway not bothered. I was just telling Sai that I have a dubious record. 95% of my talks in most of the conferences, for some strange reason, is after lunch, right? Post lunch. Why are you so happy about it, sir? No, I mean, I'm a trainer. So in Infosys, I do train people, and that's why I use this term called the graveyard session. Okay, afternoon session is always a graveyard session. Your tummy is full, air conditioned, chairs are also a little comfortable, and then even the most interesting motivational session can still sound like your mother sing a lullaby for you, right? Now, even if I have to dance here, you know what? It might not sound interesting to you, but let me try my best attempt to do that. I was in 3 different cities in the last 3-4 days, and I came from Bhubaneswar yesterday, and I was telling my wife this morning asked me, "Aren't you going to office?" I said, "No, I'm working from home." And working from home is more trouble for her. She said, "No, there has to be a reason." Then I said, "I'm going to speak." So she normally asks me, "Which college?" I said, no, this is to a group of financial advisors, and it's happening in ITC, you know. Then she immediately looked at me and she asked me a question. But normally finance guys are brainy guys, right? But why are they calling you an HR guy? You know, because she always says you don't know how to invest, you don't know how to save, and that's a complaint. And when the moment I told her the topic in pursuit of excellence, she almost fell off the chair. She said, "These guys must be really gone crazy to go and call you." But let me try my best to make you stay asleep and listen to this session. Okay. Now, before that, for those of you who are sitting like this, either it is cold or you're doing some tummy exercise. Why don't you give yourself a good round of applause? Little louder. Yeah. And I'll tell you why. No, not to make them asleep. This is with a very genuine reason. One scientific reason is they say clapping hands improves blood circulation, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The selfish reason is you will not know whether I'm going to get an applause after this session, so you get it advance. But a third and the most important reason is you chose to decide to travel to Chennai for 2 full days to attend a seminar, and I'm told that normally registration gets full in the first 1 or 2 days. Because in my mind, anybody who does not invest in himself or herself has no future. So the world belongs to the ones who reskill themselves, and the fact that you spend your money to come and stay, to listen to many interesting lectures, hats off to you. That's commitment. And when I'm seeing the average age, I can see baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, I'm not too sure, but anybody born after 1980, are you here? Make some noise. Oh, good, yeah, good. From 70, somewhere between 1964 to 1977, 78. Yeah, that's a majority, okay. They say this is the hopeless generation. Baby boomers, like your 50 plus, make some noise. Oteri nari. Now, when you look at this topic called excellence, excellence is never an accident, isn't it? When you achieve certain things in life, the first time when you do something, people always say, "You're lucky, man. You're extremely lucky." But you know what? People who achieve excellence are always people who go on to do this consistently over and over again. And sports gives you many great examples. Roger Federer, Sachin Tendulkar, Brian Lara, Kipchoge, who recently broke the record of the first man in the universe to run a marathon in less than 2 hours. All these guys go on to demonstrate certain things over and over again, that they are consistently racing towards excellence. For them, success is never an accident. So if you look at excellence, excellence is actually a progressive journey. It's a never, and that's why the topic itself is in pursuit of excellence, because there's nothing called excellence, right? You achieve certain things, you always aspire to do next. So I've just put up some 8 simple slides for you. And in my mind, what I think these are critical components to be excellence, to follow excellence. The first and foremost is something called as an attitude, right? Whether you are an investment banker, whether you are an individual professional, working for a corporate, a sportsman, a student, come what may, if this particular competency is not there, we don't exist. Somebody went and asked a management guru, what is the principle of being successful? And he said there's something called ask. You would have read about it in many, many books. Attitude, skill, knowledge. And in our college, in our schools, we exactly do the reverse. We spend so much of time in knowledge. Some colleges do spend some time on skills, but attitude is not taught anywhere. No books teaches you. Your mom and dad, some of our parents don't teach about it. So if you look at it, history has given time and again many, many examples of people having fantastic skills, fantastic knowledge, but poor attitude, not achieving anything in life. Well, the reverse has always happened. Somebody with fantastic attitude, but sometimes with very poor skill, very poor knowledge, still going on to be successful in life. Let's take engineering as an example, because I go to many, many engineering colleges. You go and ask a civil engineering student who has completed 4 years, do you know how to construct a house? The standard response he gives is, I don't have the experience. I'm just a fresher, I don't know how to construct a house. So you can talk to my HOD, who's 20 years, PhD from a reputed college, doctor so-and-so, head of the Department of Civil Engineering. You go and ask him, he also gives the same answer. Sir, I know how to teach students how to build a house, but I have not built a house. I don't know how to do it. And then you see somebody roaming around in your streets in a TVS 50 moped with that patapati trouser, lungi, and that one torn shirt here and there with a tagapa, and we call him the Kottanar or the Mestri in Tamil Nadu, 3rd standard dropout. And you go and ask him, can you help me construct a house? And the next question is it in contract or on a daily wages? If it is contract, this is how much it's going to cost. If it is a daily wages, this is how much it's going to cost. He has not gone to any school, no engineering college, but he has a skill. He has a fantastic attitude towards life. So the first and foremost thing, my dear friend, is if you really want to be successful, if you really want to be excellent in what you're doing, it is attitude which defines who you are. And attitude can be taught in very, very simple terms. And that's the reason why I want to spend some time in this particular topic alone. Remember your childhood, you were in a bus. Government bus, we all would have traveled. And in Tamil Nadu or in any southern state, in a 2-seater bus, there is always a third person who will come and sit inside. And the third person will initially say, and then will park one side, and then will do this and will push you out, right? Now there is a time when you go with your parents, your mom is sitting right next to you, you are very thinly built, so there is some more space in that bus. There is an auntie coming and standing, a middle-aged 50+ auntie who's coming and looking at you. As a child, you look at her and then you don't look at that lady, you look at your mom because you are worried that she will ask for some space, right? But that auntie wouldn't budge. She's constantly looking at you. Will you move? And then our mom who's sitting right next to you, right? Some moms are good moms. They teach positive attitude. They say, no, it's okay. Come in. Let that auntie also sit. That is good attitude, teaching children. There are some more moms who will give you a nice pinch on your thigh. And in Tamil, they say, Kaala nalla virichukkaru, so that you don't give space to others. Let's be comfortable, right? Attitude starts from that. If I have to look at what the power of human potential, remember this date, May 6th of 1954. Google up and see this date. There is a gentleman called Roger Bannister, Dr. Roger Bannister, who is a neurologist who passed away last March in 2018. Now, this man proved the world what a fantastic attitude means. Till May 6th of 1954, sports medicines, physiologists, psychiatrists, all these guys constantly told people that you cannot run 1 mile in less than 4 minutes. It is humanly impossible, and nobody ran. Roger Bannister was a part-time athlete. With minimal practice, he ran, and for the first race, he ran actually in 4 minutes, 6 seconds. And something told him, with such limited practice, if I can run a mile in 4 minutes and 6 seconds, why can't I practice hard? And he practiced a little harder. On a cold morning of May 6th of 1954, Roger Bannister became the first man to run 1 mile in less than 4 minutes. And if you look at the announcement which was made, the commentator said, Roger Bannister has completed his race in 3 minutes. People started clapping, and his time was 3 minutes 59.4 seconds. The story is not about Roger Bannister running a mile in less than 4 minutes. His record stayed only for 46 days. In 46 days, there was another athlete who broke his record. By the year end of 1954, 33 athletes worldwide broke his record. Now the sports doctor, physiologist, psychiatrist, they were all stunned. Where were these 33 athletes? So they interviewed every one of them, saying, why weren't you not possible to do this in 1953, 1952, and you are able to break his record? Everybody gave one common answer. They all said, nobody has done it before. Because the doctor has said it, because the psychologist has said it, it's humanly impossible to run 1 mile in less than 4 minutes. They all believed that it was not possible. If you watch Tamil movies, they always say, it's a medical miracle. Right? Have you heard that statement? It's a medical miracle. And that's exactly what they believed in. And now when they asked him, how were you able to do it? Everybody's answer was also standard. If Roger Bannister can do it, why can't I do it? Now that's the attitude which each one of you have to develop. You always look for role models. Right? But the real ones who go on to achieve, whether it's in finance, in HR, marketing, sales, or anything, are people who believe in their potential. There are two things, my dear friends. There's something called self-belief, which is the mother of all competencies. The entire world will not believe you, but you have belief in yourself that you will be able to achieve it. You will go places. The reverse is also true. The entire world believes you have the potential, but you don't believe in yourself. You always fear something. What will others think? What will this guy think? What will that guy think? You are not going to go places. So attitude is all about, do you believe in yourself? Do you believe, do you think there are constraints around you because of which you cannot sell your policy to somebody? You are in that chicken and egg situation. But people who believe in the power of human potential always go places. And that's why I said attitude is the mother of all competencies. Very recently, we lost a brilliant athlete in the world. Do you know who we lost? Kobe Bryant. Yeah. Number 24 of Lakers. Now, people who don't even follow basketball, they love him. Today morning, when I was preparing for the talk, when I was doing my final touches, I just saw a video. And the video is talking about Kobe Bryant's last 5 minutes in the basketball court. Right? It's not last 5 minutes before the helicopter crash. His last farewell match for Lakers. Lakers, he's played, and the last 5 minutes. And you should see, that guy has given it all. The last match, even if he has not scored a single point, people would still remember Kobe Bryant as a legend. But do you know how many points he scored in the last match? He scored 60 points. 60 points out of the entire Lakers, and very, very few people have managed to achieve it, and that is towards the last farewell match. Remember this legend called Sachin Tendulkar? Before his last farewell match, he went and played a Ranji match in Haryana. Sachin Tendulkar, even if he scored 0 in his last match, we will still call him the god of cricket. Yes or no? For the kind of service that he has done. But excellence is all about giving it their best till the last minute. Very simple, my dear friends. Ask the simple question. Do you give your best in everything that you do? Or we reserve the best for tomorrow? Tomorrow I will do it. Tomorrow I will do it. Because it's after lunchtime, let's do a quick exercise. Are you guys okay with it? Right. Brilliant. Now, sit straight. And put your right hand out. Raise your right hand as much as you can. உங்களுடைய வலது கையை உங்களால் எவ்வளவு உயர்த்த முடியுமோ உயர்த்துங்க. Raise your right hand as much as you can. Brilliant. Now on the count of 3, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. On the count of 3, come photographer. Nice photo for you. On the count of 3, take a deep breath and try and see if you can push it by few inches above. Right? On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Push it up, little up. Okay? Pull it down. Everybody hands went up for the second time. Is there anybody hand who did not go up for the second time? Who is still raising his hand? All your hand went up for the second time? Right, brilliant. What was the first question that I asked you? First statement that I made? Raise your right hand as much as you can. Right? Then I said in Tamil also, because a large audience is in Tamil, உங்களுடைய வலது கையை உங்களால் எவ்வளவு உயர்த்த முடியுமோ உயர்த்துங்கள். Which means, push your limits. This is the maximum that I can do. Honestly, is that the best that you can do? What can you do? What are the other possibilities? This is a possibility. What other possibilities, sir? Raise your right. That's a possibility. Now, just imagine if I made this simple statement. The president of IFA Galaxy is announcing 2 kgs of gold to one person who can raise his hand as much as he can. What are the possibility? You will go there. Somebody will be standing there. He will carry him on his shoulders. Boss, please, boss. It's okay. You take 1 kg, I will take 1 kg. 50-50 each. Right? But when I said, raise your right hand as much as you can, there is a voice which comes from inside. Comedy piece. He will go after 45 minutes. Why should I do all this? I have tucked in my shirt, it will come out. One person is doing this. Right? All these things come into it. Now, even in our day-to-day work, knowingly or unknowingly, this is the attitude with which we work. What's the big deal? Why should I give it my best? I will give a half-hearted attempt. I would have delivered this lecture a whopping 100, 150 times, but I still need preparation. I don't come here without my notes. I gather my notes. I was here in this venue at 1 o'clock. I came in only at 1:30. 30 minutes I was sitting inside my car, rehearsing what should I be speaking. Because what if this is my last lecture? I am not here just to entertain you. I am here because I am having great time. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember this. Give it your best. That's what champions have done across. As if today is your last day. Give it your best. What is common among these brands? Both sides? This is alive. These are brands which have reinvented themselves. These are brands which these are brands which are out of business, and this is a brand which have reinvented themselves. The reason why I am putting this slide, friends, change is the only thing which is constant. The same way you sold policies yesterday will not work today. I'm sure that's what experts are coming and telling you all the time. And many of us believe that this is the best way to do it because it's giving you results now. It might not give you results tomorrow. Remember this brand called Nokia? 10 years back, if you go to Purvika, Universal or any of these places, you will only see Nokia everywhere. Samsung will be in one corner. Motorola, sir, we have only 2 models. Failure to adopt Android, Nokia is out of business. And likewise, you see a whole lot of brands. Who invented digital photography? Kodak. An engineer in Kodak invented digital photography. And look at the irony. The company did not adopt it. They think the future is not with Kodak and Kodak is out of business. Blockbuster. Netflix goes to Blockbuster and says, you advertise Netflix in your store and I will take your rental CDs to deliver at home. Blockbuster said, you're too small. Netflix takes over Blockbuster and Blockbuster is not there anymore. Well, these are companies which have reinvented themselves. They went through a crisis, but they always adopted to change. I don't have too much time to dwell into this, but just want to tell you that change is the only thing which is constant, right? Every one of us is on Facebook. Yes or no? Today, how many of you posted on Facebook? Selfie today. Most of you in this conference will come and stand here. Picture, I am in IFA Galaxy. We post something on Facebook. This is Facebook headquarters in the Bay Area, and this is the billboard which will welcome you into Facebook. Just like say ITC Kansas or Infosys or Cognizant, we have billboards outside, right? This is right outside Facebook billboard. Looks nice? Any idea what is behind? This is exactly what is there right behind that billboard. So there was this company called Sun Microsystems who we thought will stand the testimony of time. Sun Microsystems got bought over by Oracle, and Oracle wanted to move out of this office, and Facebook bought that space, Oracle. They reinvented the entire place. In fact, Facebook headquarters office is one of the must-visit offices. But Mark Zuckerberg was not poor enough to change the billboard. He changed the billboard to Facebook, but wanted to leave this behind to his employees just to leave a message that when you go out, you see Sun Microsystems and tell yourself, if you don't change, this is what can happen to Facebook. Facebook can come back, and you can go in the front. The same thing can happen to your business also, ladies and gentlemen. Change is the only thing which is constant. Be adaptive to change. See what technology, and I saw nice videos about digital marketing and stuff like that. That's the future. That's the future. And anybody who thinks that you're sitting in a pile of cash doing businesses, Aram say, bindas, it's coming. No, it's not going to happen that way. We are going to suffer if we are not adaptive to change. Any brand, any person who's successful, always drive around one thing which they are passionate about. They say, chase one passionate idea. And I've put some very famous quotes. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive. But to do with some passion, some compassion, some humor and some style. I'll give you a simple example. I'm basically a storyteller. There is a salon called Bounce on the same road on ECR where I go for my haircut. My hairstylist name is a guy called Pradeep. His designation is Senior Style Director. That's a designation. Okay, he's a hairstylist for many of the cinema stars and all this stuff. Don't ask me what's there in my hair to go, but I really love. So, about a year back, I got a call from Bounce Salon, and Pradeep was online, and he says, "Sir, you have your haircut once in 28 days. It's only 21 days now, but if you don't mind, would you like to come for a haircut tomorrow? Because I'm going on a 10-day vacation from tomorrow, and when you come on the 28th days, there'll be somebody else to service you. Are you okay?" Now, just imagine if you get a reminder from a salon, how will you feel? I mean, I felt very nice. I said, I will come. So I went the next day. So Praveen is like a sculptor. Okay, he's like, when his hand goes inside your hair, you can really not feel the scissor chopping your hair and stuff like that. He was brilliant. And looking into the mirror, I was asking him questions generally. I asked Pradeep, how did you land up in this job? He said, I really like this job, sir. So next stupid question an HR guy will ask, what is your qualification? He said, I'm a BSc Physics graduate from Loyola College. My jaw dropped because that's a course that I asked in Loyola and they didn't give me. And finally, they gave me BSc Statistics out of force because I scored 71 in mathematics. Not out of 100, but out of 200, right? And then they gave me Statistics. And friends, statistics is not like putting your right leg into a hot frying pan and left leg into a pack of ice and shouting on an average, I am comfortable. In the side, suda irukku, in the side, chillun irukku. No, statistics was really, really tough. And I was wondering, after BSc Physics in Loyola, why would you do this? So the next stupid question I asked, because I'm from IT, right? I said, Pradeep, with BSc Physics, with some computer course, you could have landed up in some great IT organization. Looks like I rubbed the wrong side. He stopped cutting my hair and he came in the front. And he looked at me and he said, sir, fresher, how much will you pay a fresher? I said about 3.75 lakhs. So in terms of monthly, how much does it work up to? I said about 24,000. So after 5-6 years experience, how much will you pay, sir? I said around 50,000 rupees. He looked at me and he said, sir, I earn 80,000 rupees here, sir, my salary. And with tips and everything, I earn anywhere between 1,30,000 to 1,40,000 rupees. I said, wow. And then he looks at me and he said, I am not here because of the money, sir. I'm really passionate about what I'm doing. And he said, I am in the job of beautifying people. This is exactly what he said. He said, I am in the job of beautifying people. I said, what do you mean? Sir, 45 vaisu. Young men, 45-year-old, middle-aged men come to me. They say, I've lost hair here. I'm slightly getting bald. Can you change my hairstyle? And I do that. I see young women coming with such complex and I just do simple hairstyling. They take so many selfies. They look beautiful and they always thank me. My job is not just about cutting hair. My job is all about being passionate. I beautify people. People want to look beautiful. Yes or no? Most of us, why do we go and dye our hair? Because we still want to show I'm young. Yes, ultimately. And that actually resonated, saying if you're passionate about doing something, money chases you. Money chases you. And for Pradeep, you have to fix an appointment. Even if the actor Vijay wants to have an haircut, he cannot go at his will. He has to fix an appointment to get Pradeep. Because if you are an expert, if you're passionate about doing something, if you're adding value to your customers, you don't need to run behind your customers. Trust me, you don't need to make those cold calls. People will not snap the call. The moment I'm saying I'm selling policy, they will not snap the calls. People will come to you because you add value. And where people who always add value are always passionate about what they're doing. They have a much larger purpose, my dear friends. That's the second thing on excellence. 3, grab opportunities. Opportunities knocks your door all the time. Things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out. How many of you believe in luck? This guy is extremely lucky. Luck. Science tells you there's nothing called luck. They've proven it. There is a nice experiment which was done with 60 people who believed in luck and another 60 people who don't believe in luck. And they said, here is a newspaper. Same newspaper was given to everybody and they asked them, all 120 of them, to count a particular word. Out of 60 people who did not believe in luck, 57 of them stopped counting the number of words in just 2 minutes. Whereas on the other side, all 60 were counting the number of words for the next 2 hours. You know the reason why? On the second side of the newspaper, there was a small ad which says, stop counting. There are so many words. The number of words that you are counting, there are so many words. You can stop counting. These guys continue to count. And then on the 4th page, there was another advertisement which says, cut this advertisement and give it to the organizer. He will give you a $200 check. And the study said the 60 people who believed in luck Only 2 people saw the advertisement. 58 did not even see the advertisement. Sometimes we are so engrossed that we keep giving these answers to somebody when somebody is successful, he is lucky. No, you don't know the struggle that guy is going through. Have you seen the duck in water? Duck, when it swims on water, have you seen the duck how it swims? It's like seamless execution, right? It swims so beautifully. Just go underneath the water and see how the duck paddles. It really paddles very hard, but it looks very calm and composed on the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to be successful, grab every single opportunity. Every single opportunity that comes your way, grab it. Irrespective of the fact, even if you fail, it's okay. Point 4, plan B. They always say this. You should stick to one plan. Come what may. And some of the most successful entrepreneurs have always said it's not plan A that worked for them. Not even plan B, not even plan C. Sometimes only plan Z will work for you. Some of the biggest entrepreneurs, you don't see that their first venture itself was successful. They have the guts to say, this is failing. I do not want to waste my time here. I want to look at plan B. And that's why I love this quote of Sheryl Sandberg. Sorry, some statements are quite not okay, appropriate for the audience. Option is not available, so let's just get the shit out of option B. The life is never perfect. Look at what your plan B is. Without plan B, life can go a little hanky-dory. Some of us can make the first attempt successful, not many of us. I recently met a gentleman called Bala Subramaniam in E-Road. He runs one of the largest mining organizations sitting out of E-Road. And they said that was his 32nd venture, which 31 attempts he has failed in his business. And the reason why I'm giving examples from E-Road and Salem and all this stuff, because we read Western examples. Abraham Lincoln, how many times he failed and all. We don't look at our own heroes around who failed multiple times and who still go on to become successful in life. And when people told me Bala Subramaniam has 2 chartered aircrafts, my jaw literally dropped. And he's sitting in E-Road. Connecting the dots. Look, anything that you do, including attending this seminar, including meeting somebody here, you don't know how it will connect and manifest in a much bigger way. Don't expect an outright result when you build relationship, right? I exchange my business card purely because I want this from you. You are never valued. People who build excellence do not do this. They have a long-term vision. Allow me to share a simple story. Now, I joined Infosys about 18 years back, and training was something which I was extremely passionate about. But my job description said training is not in my job description. I was an HR executive, so my job, there will be a trainer who will come from Bangalore. I will go and set up infrastructure for the trainer, take attendance sheet, and after the training is over, I'll collect feedback sheet and go back. And when I looked at the trainer, I thought I could do a far better job. So I walked up to my manager and I said, can I do training? She said, no, that's not in your portfolio, and training is a very different department. So I wrote to the training head, look, I think I can train. If you can train me, I can do the same program. The head of the training department said, I can train you, but you cannot put it in your gold sheet, which means your appraisal, your manager will not even consider that for your appraisal. I said, that's fine. So between me and my manager, we agreed that we will do training, but it will not be accounted in my appraisal. And I'll tell you, flashback to late 90s, I wanted to become a public speaker. All along, I used to get dreams of me being on stage, but I cannot see my own face. The image is always from back. Audience are sitting there and I am standing there. I never knew in my life that I can ever become a public speaker because my English was awful till I went to college. I used to be the only guy in my school who used to pay maximum fine for using Tamil words. In our school, there is a very strange rule. To develop English, they say you cannot speak in your mother tongue in your school. So my class leader is one guy who will always come and say, his job is to get that fine from you. So he'll come and tell you, today what are lunch? Look at how awful his English is. But he'll come and today what are lunch? So I looked into my lunch box and I saw white rice. I said white rice. Then what? Which means what is the gravy that you have brought, right? So I opened, I saw rasam. Till that day I didn't know rasam in English was also rasam. I thought rasam is a Tamil word. So when you're pushed against the wall, your communication improves, right? So I looked at it and he said, pepper water. Okay. He said, he didn't budge. Side dish what? Next question is side dish what? Now what is urlekelangu in English? Potato. Vengayam? Onion. Muttagos? Cabbage. Avaraka? Terlele? My problem is, what if my mother had kept avaraka, kottavaranga? We don't know what is the English word. So I was hoping that some complicated vegetable should not be in my box. I opened it. My mom had made egg podi mas, which now I know it's scrambled eggs. Now I didn't know whether egg podi mas was English, Hindi or Tamil. I have to take care of 50 paisa which is there in my pocket. I looked at that guy and I said, white rice, pepper water, egg, chaka 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 chaka, okay? And I said that chaka 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 was English or Hindi or Tamil, you only solve the problem. So that is how awful my communication skills. But I was dreaming about becoming a public speaker on stage. So my parish priest gave me a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. He said, read books. That's the first stage to become a public speaker. Because the moment you start reading, you will develop knowledge, you can go and speak, blah, blah, blah. I said, great. I read the book in 2 days because he said 100 inspirational stories. I walked up to the priest again and I said, can I get my next book? He said, that guy has not written anything. You please wait. Okay. Now, Jack Canfield is the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. If you've not read the book, hundreds and hundreds of books he has written. So somewhere I wrote down in my small diary that one day I want to meet Jack Canfield and get an autograph from him because he is the one who developed the habit of reading. Today I have 8,000 books in my library. I read like crazy. It's all thanks to this particular guy, Jack Canfield. And what was the dream? I wrote a dream saying I want to meet Jack Canfield and get an autograph. This happened sometime in late 1999. Okay, and just connect the dots of how I started doing training sessions, how I started reading a lot, and how you go and deliver sessions after sessions outside. Nobody gave weightage within the organization that Sujith, you are doing a great job on training. My boss didn't give weightage because it was not in my goal sheet. But deep inside, I know that I was growing. Deep inside, I know I was growing. And look how God blessed. 2018, there is something called as a National Achievers Conference, which happened in Chennai. 2017, I spoke along with Gargopal Das, the monk from, this is called the super monk, right? So both of us, my session and then Gargopal Das came and spoke. So every year they call one star speaker. 2017, it was Gargopal Das. 2018, when the organizers came and showed me the brochure, I saw the super speaker, the star speaker they are going to get this time was Jack Canfield, 74-year-old man from US, the guy whom you wanted to pick an autograph from. So I told the organizers, look, I'm not a great fan of the selfie photograph business, but he's my childhood hero. I just want one picture with this gentleman. They said, sure. So when I went and spoke, normally the star speakers will not come and sit in front of you. They make a rock star entry like superstar. I finished my talk and the organizer came and told me somebody's waiting to meet you backstage. And I go backstage, I saw a 6'4", 74-year-old man dressed up in full suit and he gave me a handshake and gave me a hug with all his bouncers around. He said, just stay away. 30 minutes, I want time with this gentleman. And he heard my talk sitting at the backstage. And the beauty of the talk, the 30-minute talk, when he finished listening to me, he said, gentlemen, if you don't mind, can you give me 2 stories that you spoke right now on stage? I want to publish it in the next Chicken Soup for the Soul book. Right? Now look at how you can connect the dots. It's a 20-year journey. You didn't have any expectation, but things that you do passionately, things that you do without any expectation in returns will not give you immediate returns. Even here you say, right, in mutual funds, it will not give you immediate returns. The return is always 15 years, 20 years later or whatever. Things that you invest in yourself, again, will give returns later. But when the returns come, you will be astonished the way because you are passionately delivering things. So connecting the dots is very, very important. Resilience. Needless to say, anybody who has achieved excellence have one thing in common. They've never given up. They can move from plan A to plan B to plan C, but they've never given up. Have you heard about this tree called Chinese bamboo tree? Yeah, what's so special about the Chinese bamboo tree? It's normally when you plant, when you put a seed inside the soil, nature tells you in 5 to 7 days it germinates and the sapling comes out. Chinese bamboo tree is the only tree which not just germinates in 5 to 7 days, not even 5 to 7 months. It takes a whopping 5 years for the seed to break and the sapling to come out. For 5 years, the farmers have to water it, manure it, till the soil and take care of it. 5 years, he's only seeing a barren piece of land. But look at God's creation, how nature teaches you things. After 5 years, when the sapling comes out, in a matter of 6 weeks, it grows up to 90 feet tall. So 5 years under the soil, and in a matter of in a matter of 6 weeks, which is about roughly about every week it's growing, right? In a matter of 45 days, can you see suddenly you see a 90 feet tall tree here, you will be astonished. So the natural question for us, if you can grow in 6 weeks to 90 feet tall, what the hell were you doing for 5 years under the soil? The answer is very evident. If you have to withstand a tree which is 90 feet tall, you need to spread your roots first, right? Many of us are like the Chinese bamboo tree. Spread your roots first. And when you start growing, literally nobody can stop your growth. And Chinese bamboo tree is a classic example. We all look for short-term returns. What is a shortcut to achieve results? No, there is no shortcut to success. There is no shortcut to success. Being resilient, sticking to your plan, and if it doesn't work out, moving to plan B, but giving your 100%, being resilient is the way forward. And that is what resilience is all about. You look at any of the sports stars. Roger Federer, who just lost this Australian Open, he says, physically, even if I'm not fit, when I'm in the court, I'm mentally very, very fit. And that's the reason why I compete even at this particular age, right? Being resilient is a major characteristic of anybody who serves excellence. And that's my last slide, my dear friends. Be grateful. Be really, really grateful. This is what I have learned after 2013. Be grateful for every damn thing that you have today. Today morning we all got up, right? We are actually lucky. There are a good number of people who didn't get up this morning. A good number of people. I don't know how many times we thank. And every time when I come on stage, I only remember my children. When I'm saying my children, I have only one son at home, but I have 937 children in my foundation. Till 2013, Sujith had a touch of arrogance in his life. That I was one of the fastest growing HR person in Infosys. I got all this fancy designation. If you're in the corporate world, you know, we all like to be called with designations. Associate Vice President, Senior Vice President, Executive Vice President. Job remains the same. Your business card keeps changing. Right? But you all call, I am an AVP. And even in our neighboring circle, if you are 35 and if you don't have the manager title, they say, what, you're not manager? Huh? Something is wrong with this guy. And that what do you call that arrogance comes into you, the way you interact with people and stuff like that. 2013, I was in a career counseling session in Madurai. Right? This is for the government school children. And I just spoke about different career streams. I finished my talk, went down. There was a young girl who came running to me. And she said, in Tamil, she said, I want to study. Suggest me a course that I will get a job immediately. And nobody has asked me a straightforward question. So I was prompted to ask the next question. What are you doing now? She said, I've just finished my 12th standard, waiting for my results. I said, who's there in your family? Mother is no more. Father is an alcoholic. If you're in Tamil Nadu, you know, low-income families, many of these children don't have fathers. Okay, Tasmac has literally killed them. Because we are the only government which sells alcohol. Government sells alcohol, right? So that's some hard truth. And here, unfortunately, mother is not alive. Father is alive. Who's a drunkard again? She has 2 siblings. And I asked her, who educates you? She said, I earn. I said, how? She said, I work as a domestic help. 4 houses in the morning, 2 houses in the morning and 2 houses in the evening. In Tamil, there is a saying, my dear friends, Moondru manikku elundal munivan. Okay, only rishis get up at 3 o'clock. There are young girls in Tamil Nadu who still get up at 3 o'clock. Between 3 and 5, she studies. 5 to 6, she cooks for her siblings. And 6 o'clock, she goes for work. 8 o'clock, she comes back. And then she takes a sibling to school. Evening, the same routine. Every night, she sleeps at 11 o'clock. 11 to 3 is what she sleeps. I will go 1 step forward, she will go 2 steps backward. She says, can you give me an answer? Because I have to rush. Otherwise, I will lose my job. I don't know how to help her. I asked her, how much have you scored? She says, I have not got my 12th result. In all 3 revision exams that I have written till now, the lowest I have scored is 1154 out of 1200. Okay? Looking back, I have to multiply my mark by 2 to get there. Right? I don't know how to help. Friends, tell me honestly, when somebody comes and asks you for help, what do you do first? We will open our wallet. We give money. All of you would have done it. I have done it. To a beggar in the street, to your domestic help, whatever. That day, there is something called moment of enlightenment. I always used to wonder, how did this guy, some apple fell and one guy came with a theory. Buddha went and sat under a tree. I also sit under a tree. Nothing happens to me. But then the answer is, life's most beautiful moments happens just around you. It's just that we don't see it. We keep our eyes closed. We don't listen to it. So that day, something told me that I should help her. I gave her my business card and I said, once you get your 12th results, call me, let me figure out. That image of that girl just didn't vanish from my eyes. I have to drive down from Madurai to Salem and I was just looking at it. What am I good at? I was good with public speaking. I was going college after college. Did I charge professionally? No, till then I have not charged a single penny. And that's where I said, if I'm good at something, can I put it to a common cause? So what did I do? I looked at my phone book and I saw, if you take your phone, you will find a lot of finance guys' numbers there, right? Your related business, you will find a lot of people. Doctors will have doctor's number. My phone book had only 2 types of numbers. A lot of HR guys' numbers were there. A lot of college chairman's numbers were there. I said, okay, now that I'm going to all these colleges free of cost, I called one college chairman and I said, if you don't mind, can you give me one engineering seat free of cost? There was complete silence on the other end. So I said, okay, look, you don't need to give it free. If you give me one seat, I will come and train your students free of cost all the time, right? Because engineering college still believes when HR guy comes and train, their students get placed. So we also use it. So the silence was not about that. He immediately responds, Sujith, I will give you 20 seats. Okay, you asked for one, right? I'll give you 20 seats. You educate 20 such children. Now I don't know where am I going to look for 20 children. And that time there was no idea that I'm going to start Matram, I'm going to start an NGO and all this stuff. But something was telling me that this is going to get bigger. And I wrote it down in a small piece of paper that these 20 seats, how will we distribute? We said we will distribute the seat to orphan children first, single parent, girl child. And we said we will not take a single penny as donation. And more importantly, we will not reveal the identity of the students who study with us. What started with one girl, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the 7th year. We are educating 937 students across Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Telangana, Kerala, Karnataka and in Delhi without a single penny donation. You open up Matram Foundation website, you will find 2 things which will be strikingly different. You will not find a donate button, which means your bank account number is not there in the website. You will not find any of my children's photo there. None of my children's photos are published because we believe in the simple aspect that there has to be dignity in giving. Even when I write success stories of my children, I change the name because that is about my way of being grateful. The first girl whom I spoke about currently works for a company called Amazon in Bangalore, earning a salary of 17.5 lakhs, right? She lost her father when she was in 2nd year, and when she got the offer, she sent me 4 shirts, Louis Philippe shirts. She sent it by Amazon delivery and she sent a nice letter. And she said, if my father was alive, I would have definitely bought him something. Please accept this shirt in the place of her father. So look, these are moments of glory, right? No amount of success in Infosys or whatever can even come anywhere close. And last Saturday, Sunday, 4-day event we did, an event called Sangamam, where all 937 kids of my foundation was there. And they spoke about their stories. We got 6 of our alumni to come up on stage and speak. There's a guy called Sharath who walked up on stage. And he was in a suit. And this is how he started his talk. He said, from a son of a construction coolie to a research scholar in IIT Madras. And that's how he started his talk. And he said, I scored 192. And when Sujith Anna asked me, why are you not taking computer science engineering? And why are you taking civil engineering? He said, my only dream was to go one step above my father. My father was a construction coolie. I want to be an engineer. And when he read a book by Devnath, a professor in IIT, structural engineering, he said, I want to be an IIT. And everybody laughed at me. And he said, I didn't know the difference between IIT and ITI. Because that is how much I was knowledgeable. And he said, I picked up public speaking and all that stuff. When everybody sat for campus interview, I had a very different dream of getting into IIT. And then he said, finally, everybody got placed. I didn't sit through my campus interview because I want to pursue my dream. I was good in 2 things. I was good at mathematics, so I started doing home tuition. That was not enough. And then he paused for a while. This event happened at Sai Ram College. The Sai Ram CEO was sitting there. He looked at Sai Prakash, who's the CEO, and he said, sir, I have come to your college for work. I've been here 4 times, and Sai didn't understand where it was. That's the moment he removed his jacket, turned to the audience, and pointed his t-shirt. It read bouncer. And he said, I have worked here as a bouncer. For Pete, audio launch and all the stuff, come here as a bouncer. I worked as a bouncer in pub, though I don't drink. I've seen my own friends coming up to me and said, what is this, Sharath? You are a topper. Why are you doing this? And that's the time when I was very, very upset. And he spoke to me. And I told him one very, very simple message. Look, you are not working as a bouncer for your livelihood. You're working as a bouncer to realize your dream, right? Stay on. Today, Sharath is a structural engineering research scholar in IIT Madras, getting a stipend of 25,000 bucks. And he is telling my children, junior, saying, dream big. No dreams are big enough. The last and final story, my dear friends. There are about 75% of my foundation are girls. And there is something called power of girls when they educate themselves. Life liberates. The family liberates. This girl again shared her story. I've shared her story in many, many stages. Imagine a 9th standard kid. There is wedding at home. A sister is getting married. She is running around. Suddenly, sister elopes with somebody. Everybody is crying. And the grandmother gives her a weird idea. Why don't you get married in the place of your sister? This girl just attained puberty 6 months back. She didn't understand what marriage was all about. She was very good with her education. And she said to her grandmom, but I want to go to school. The grandmom says, what's stopping you? You can still go to school. Because you're getting married to your maternal uncle, which is very, very common in this part of the city, right? This part of the state. When you're saying maternal uncle, it's not your mother's younger brother. Here is a case where she's getting married to her mother's elder brother, who's 31 years older, and this girl is 15. She didn't understand what she was getting into, got married. Her own grandmother now becomes her mother-in-law. And the humiliation starts then. She stopped from school. In 1 year, this kid had a kid. At 16, she delivered a girl child. And her life came to a complete halt. And she said this in Tamil. Pavada setta podra time la ena sari katti vittanga. In Tamil they say, ellam kaalangalathil nadakkanum. There is time for everything. You get married at this particular age. You have child at this particular age. You buy a 2-bedroom apartment. You have loan for the next 20 years. And you kill your life paying loan for the next 20 years. There are certain things which needs to happen. And she looked at the audience and she said, for me, everything has happened ahead of time. And because she wanted to study, she tried attempting suicide thrice. Nothing happened. For the 4th time when it went serious, the family decided she has to go to school. So she passed 10th privately. And that's when she said, all of you would have gone to school with your school bag and lunch bag. I also went with my school bag and lunch bag on the right hand. But on the left hand, I also need to take my child to the same school. I will drop her in LKG, then go to 12th standard class. And she finished 12th with 90%. And when she came to our foundation, remember, she's a mother of a 4-year-old child. The child is in Vellore. She studied in Satyabama University. And in that 4 years she studied with us, she went and saw her child only 8 times. You can understand the pain of a mother, right? Only 8 times. And the reason she will tell me is, Anna, avala paatha enakku inga vara thona matingudhu. I want to be there. But I want to achieve great things in life. Today, Jayashree works for a company called ThoughtWorks, earning a salary of 7.5 lakhs. She has traveled to China, right? Has come back. And she is talking about say no to child marriage. Because child marriage not just messes up with the girl's life, it messes up with the entire generations to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, excellence is not just about we being excellent, we making money and all this stuff. Excellence is also about putting your strengths for a common cause. When you make a difference to somebody else's life, nothing can be more gratifying than that. To me, I lived that journey for the last 5-6 years. Absolute pleasure when I get month-end messages. Anna's salary has been credited. I don't know, with 45,000 rupees, what am I going to do? Some of my children are in some of the top brands today. A couple of them have become chartered accountants today. Now, these are dreams that you can live. So, my request to you, ladies and gentlemen, forget about anything that I spoke till now. I sincerely appeal to you, make a difference to somebody else's life. It can be your domestic mate's help, your security guard's son, or somebody around. Doesn't mean that you need to start an NGO. Look at what you're good at, spend time in that, and use that for a cause. Thank you so very much. Pleasure talking to you.